In Chapter 12, we talk about education and school for adolescents. We know that a good school experience is an important predictor of later career and economic success. It's very important that adolescents feel as though they had a good school experience. There's two main perspectives as to what we should focus on in teaching adolescents. Traditionalists believe that we should focus on the basics: English, science, math, history, and foreign languages. Progressives, on the other hand, believe that we should focus on teaching students to be good citizens, to have good home and family life skills, finding a vocation, good physical health habits, anything that can effectively make them a better person. Trends in U.S. education. As you look over the decade, you'll notice that the trend in what is considered important is changed through the years. Back in the 60s with Sputnik, that was a huge change in our education system because the Soviet Union launched Sputnik, and this caused the United States to become very concerned that our children were not as well educated as other countries because we felt like they were ahead of us in space studies. So this kind of changed a mindset within the U.S. school system. But as you look through the decades, in the 60s, we've looked at more real-world relevant skills. The 70s had fewer courses necessary for college preparation. The 80s, we found a more academic rigor, and then in the 90s, we started seeing the emergence of some alternative forms of education, such as magnet schools and charter schools. Magnet schools are schools that are still public, but they focus on a specific area, such as the arts or math and science or some specific area. Charter schools are a hybrid between public and private schools. They're less governed than public schools. Our students still rank consistently lower than the European and Asian students on math, reading, and science. Many changes have taken place to try to fix this problem, although the problem is still not fixed. No Child Left Behind, of course, came in the early 2000s, trying to get our children more prepared. We do know that it was not successful. Unfortunately, one of the worst things that happened with No Child Left Behind is that teachers were teaching the test so that students could perform well on the test, because so much was put on the significance of that test. That is not necessarily what the whole point of No Child Left Behind was. Other alternative forms of education, we've talked about magnet schools and charter schools. We also saw the emergence of vouchers, in which the government pays the cost of a private school in certain situations. Tech prep schools look at offering some type of vocational technical training in high school instead of going through the college track. Open enrollment is where students can attend any public school, and then homeschooling, of course, is where children are taught in the home. Middle schools, there's a question about middle schools, whether or not we should have middle schools. Are they beneficial? Should we do simply a high school and an elementary school? A lot of places do what we call junior high, where kids are at the high school, but they're considered junior high until they get into 9th or 10th grade. There are issues with middle school, mainly because there is a middle school slump, because these schools are larger and more impersonal than what kids are used to in elementary school. Things that can make middle school successful: teachers receiving training in working with adolescents, focusing on a high quality, developmentally appropriate curriculum. This may include tracking, where we put students together based on their abilities. There should be a warm, caring, supportive atmosphere, and parents and communities should be invested in the school and its success. Authoritative parents are most likely associated with a child's school success. Avoiding problems in middle school, there's two main performance structures that are often used. There's the performance goal structure, in which students are encouraged to be competitive. The goal is to get the highest grade in the class. And then you have task mastery, where it's less competitive. You're not encouraged to get the highest grades. You're encouraged to show improvement. Task mastery has better effects on students than the performance goal structure. Performance goal puts too much pressure on students, and it also makes the students who are not performing feel as though they should give up. And so we do see better success with a task mastery structure. Good characteristics of secondary schools. Students do better in smaller schools. They thrive when an atmosphere is supportive of their learning. Teachers who are engaged and encouraging to their students actually have better outcomes. 1,000 students per school is a good target. This size allows students to participate in activities, and it also allows for good monitoring of students' progress and needs. Atmosphere of the school is very important. A principal who sets high standards and is fair with discipline and rules is usually a good indicator of success. It can also, if you have a spirit of cooperation and achievement, this can help the school. And students should feel responsible and invest in their learning. Teachers should use different teaching styles to engage and promote learning. They should be good support of guidance, especially effective learning and mastery styles. And they should also be someone who can offer feedback, social support, mentorship, and a caring relationship to their students. Curriculum. There are different types of curriculum. Your curriculum is basically what the focus of education is on. You have a basic skills curriculum, which basically just focuses on getting skills needed for employment after graduation. A vocational curriculum focuses on job skills and learning a trade. And then college preparatory curriculum obviously focuses on teaching students to be successful once they go into college. Why do students dislike school? Many of them feel bored during school. They don't feel as though they're being challenged. They're uninterested in what they're being taught. They feel as though it's irrelevant. It's not going to help them in life later. Achievement and dropping out. The prevalence of dropout is high, with approximately 1/3 of high school students not earning their diplomas. There's many reasons that students drop out, including poverty, personal characteristics, school policies, and more. This could stem from neurological problems with the child, where they just cannot perform in school. It can also be socioeconomic status, in which the child needs to be out working, doing other things to support the family. They don't have resources to help them to be successful in school. And also, students may have had a bad experience with the school, either the teachers, the peers, or administrators. Getting a college or university degree is very important. The more traditional approach is to attend a formal program with a college or university, although many people are actually looking at online courses that allow more flexibility for students looking to get a university degree. Community colleges definitely should be something that everyone considers. Many people miss out on the benefits of a good community college system.